الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا عباد الله يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتاب العزيز اعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ان الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا ايها الذين امنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. All praises are due to Almighty Allah, the beneficent and merciful. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guiding us to Islam. Alhamdulillah, we send our blessing to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Inshallah, today I want to share with you one hadith, and that hadith is about the time and how what we are doing every day contributes to what we are going to get in the day of judgment. And the hadith is an Ibn Mas'ud from Ibn Mas'ud radhiyallahu anhu عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تزال قدم ابن آدم يوم القيامة من عيد ربه حتى يسأل عن خمس: عن عمره فيما أفناه، وعن شبابه فيما أبلاه، وماله من أين اكتسب، وفيما أنفق، وماذا عمل بما علم. رواه الترمذي في كتاب أبواب الصفات القيامة. The hadith is nutshell is that Ibn Mas'ud reported by Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he said, لا تزال قدم ابن آدم يوم القيامة, that the foot of the son of Adam stands still in the presence of Almighty Allah in the day of judgment until he will be asked about 5 things: his life, how he used it, what he did with his youth life, his wealth, how he accumulated it and how he spent it, and what he did with his knowledge. The first thing is his time, how he lived it in this life. His time, how he lived it in this time. And I'm going to emphasize on the concept of time, inshallah ta'ala. Often cases, my brothers and sisters in Islam, you hear it and I hear it, saying that the time is running fast, the time is running fast. Or we say, I cannot believe we are now in the beginning of another year of Hijrah, 1445. Oh, this year has gone away fast. I just pay my tax, and now there's another year of paying tax. Now we ask ourselves, oh, the time is so running out. And the question is time actually running out or not? SubhanAllah. Often cases, it appears to us that 1 year is just like a 1 month. 1 month like 1 week, 1 week like a day, and a day like 24 hours, and this 24 hours is just like 1 hour. And the 1 hour is just like 1 minute. SubhanAllah. The question then is time actually running out? It happens to you, it happens to me. Thinking that, oh, we don't have time to do this, we don't have time to do that. But the reality is, according to my own understanding, is that that is our perception. That is our perception. The time itself is not running out at all. For example now, last year, 2022, consisted of 365 days. 365 days. This year will be 365 days. Last week, which is Friday, was 24 hours, and this Friday also will be 24 hours. Now the question is, what makes us think that the time is running out? According to Islam, is what we do in it. SubhanAllah, is what we do in our time. If we spend our time wisely, nicely, and we do something good in it, then the time is not running out, but we want it to continue. We want it to continue. Suppose now you like something to do, maybe as far as Islam is concerned, and you like to read the Quran, you think that the more you read, the better you become. Now, for those people who do not read the Quran, and you give them a copy of the Quran, say, brother, read it, when he reads 10 minutes, 30 minutes, then he is bored. He doesn't want to read it. And now the question is, what happens to him? Is that if we like something, then we have time to do it. If we determine to do something good, then we have time to do it. If we have something we do not like, then we say the time is running. I am a teacher, and I see that in my students. When the topic of discussion in class is so good, they do not want the class to get over. When the subject to them is boring, you spend 15 minutes, you see in their faces that they want to get out. And the problem is time running? No, it's because they don't like what they are doing, what they engage their time in. Same thing our children. I mean, you have children and I have children. When you say to them, let's go to class and do something Islamic or do something constructive, they are not interested. Then if you force them to follow you and they spend 1 hour there, they think it's too long and they don't like it. On the opposite side, you call them and say, my son, my daughter, let's go and watch this video, let's go and play. Then you finish your playing, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, and you see that in this month, baby, let's go home. They don't want to go. They do not want to go. Now, to them, time is so good and they don't want it to finish. It's not running fast to them. They will say, oh, we have spent only 1 hour. Let us spend another 2 hours. So therefore, Islam is emphasizing that as far as we are Muslims, we have to pay so much attention to our time. The Prophet says, you are going to stand in front of Almighty Allah and the first thing you are going to ask about is your time, how do you spend it? Your time, how do you spend it? So if we construct ourselves nicely and we do it well, definitely we're going to get a lot of reward from Almighty Allah. If we spend it in something very negative, then we're not going to get any reward. So therefore, we human beings, our perception of time may be right and at times it may be wrong. And it depends on this topic. Now, for somebody who is a military and in front of a battle, the time is so long because he wanted to finish the war and go back home. Any minute, any hour, any day they spend the war is long time for them. Same thing happens to those who, for one reason or the other, they are prisoners, inmates in the confinement. To them, 1 day is just like 1 year because they want to get out of this prison and go home. But the time they are spending is the same time that I'm spending. And brothers and sisters, if we look at our own self too, the 24 hours that I have is the same 24 hours that my brother has, the same 24 hours that my brother has. The same 24 hours that the president has, the same hours that the lawyer or whatever has. Just imagine, what are they doing in their time? What am I doing in my time? You look to the president now, he has so many issues in front of him, and he's going to deal with them within these 24 hours. Then we see another person, like me, they sit down and say, they don't do anything. SubhanAllah. To them, time is not so important. Now, why this hadith in particular is to call our attention that time is our capital. Time is our capital in this life. What we use it for is what we are going to be accountable for. Whether we like it or not, every minute that we are spending is countable and is against us unless we do something good with it. Every minute. The Prophet said, in the day of judgment, we are going to stand still in the day of judgment until we are being asked, what do we do with our time? If we do something constructive, then definitely we are going to be thankful for Allah for that. If we do it without negative way, then the result will be negative. Now, on the other side, SubhanAllah, Islam teaches us how we have to respect time and gives us guidance. For example now, every day, Islam teaches us that you have to pray 5 times a day. The morning prayer, which is Sunnah, it has specific time. The Zuhr prayer has specific time. Then as prayer has specific time, then Isha, Maghrib, it has specific time. Then we have to follow. I cannot say, oh, I'm busy, I want to pray Isha in the afternoon. No. You do not pray until the time comes, and that is to show you that you have to organize. You have to organize. On the other side, subhanAllah, when we do that, then we are going to get so much reward out of our organization of the time. Then you look into Ramadan, it has time. 30 or 29 days, you cannot do without it. When it comes to Hajj, it has rigid time. If you miss it, then you miss everything. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Hajju Arafah. Making Hajj is to stand at the day of Arafah in Arafah. If you miss that date, that time, then you do not have Hajj. You do not have Hajj at all. And what is that telling us? That everything has specific time that we are going to be accountable for. So what Islam actually teaches us to do then is to plan and regulate our time, because that is our capital. If we don't spend this capital wisely, then we are going to be accountable for it in the day of judgment in a very negative way. And then we are going to say to Allah, oh Allah, oh Allah, can't you give me some time so that I go back to this life and do a little bit more? And then the Quran is saying, Kalla, innaha kalimatun huwa qailuha. No, you are not going to return back to this life to do anything again. وَلَئِنْ عُودُوا لَعَادُوا لِمَا نُهُوا عَنْهُ. If we return them back to this life, they are going to do the same bad things that they did before. SubhanAllah. So therefore, this time, which is our capital, must be invested in a very nice way. And once again, why bringing this notion to us now? We are now, just maybe yesterday we finished Muharram, the new year of Islamic calendar. We ask ourselves, and we thank Allah for spending 1444 alive. Now we begin 1445, and the question is, what do we plan to use our time for in this 1 year that is in front of us? Are we going to live long? We do not know. But Allah loves you, that He gives you opportunity to be alive in the beginning of 1445. Then you ask yourself, how am I going to spend my time? How am I going to plan my time? What am I going to do in it? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be asked about it. And therefore, I mentioned that to you several times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Isra is saying, وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةَ وَسَعْرَى سَعْيَهَا وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَأُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا. Anybody who intends to go to paradise, al-akhirah, to go to God in the day of judgment, وَسَعْرَى سَعْيَهَا, and he works for it, وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ, and is a true believer, those are the people who are going to be compensated by Almighty Allah. Which means you can't say, why am I here? I'm here to serve Almighty Allah. I'm here to do ABC. I'm here to follow the Quran. I'm here to pray. I'm here to give zakat. I'm here to do good to the other people. If I do it well, move me, and will be paid, that you are going to be rewarded by Almighty Allah. Those are the people that Allah is going to be thankful for what they have done in this life, and He's going to compensate them in a very nice way. So therefore, my appeal to you, brothers and sisters, don't feel now that, oh, they spent 1 month in New Year 1445, plan, say, this is my time, make a pencil or pen, write down what am I going to do for this year, and put there something relating to your Islam. How are you going to be serviceable? How are you going to be useful for yourself and for your community? Because that's what we are lacking. If you're not useful for yourself enough and you're not useful for the community, then there's no difference between you and non-Muslims. No difference between you and non-Muslims. A Muslim is one who has the intention of preaching Allah in the day of judgment, and he works for it. When you work for it, definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to guide you to do that, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين إنه غفور رحيم. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. Once again, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for being alive, and we thank Allah for giving us a little bit more time to live in this life purposely. Allah doesn't leave you you don't create just to be making fun only. No, you are created for certain purposes. So that we have this time in front of us, brothers, inshallah, let us plan and do what is constructive for our life, because we are going to pay for it. Now, I'm going to give you one reference in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, which is relating to the Hijrah, which is just living Hijrah here. Muhammad ﷺ, when he first got the revelation from Iraq in Mecca, he went to his wife and told her what he saw on the mountain. And the wife took him to his uncle, Waraka. Waraka, they said he was a Jewish, but he had knowledge of the Jewish scripture. Then Muhammad narrated to Waraka what he saw. And Waraka said, if you are telling the truth, you are going to be a prophet of this community, of this woman, but they are going to exile you. They are going to send you away from Mecca. And the Prophet ﷺ was shocked that if what I'm reading is true, are they going to send me away? Then Waraka said, yes. Nobody comes with the truth, and his people will like him. No. In the beginning, they will not like him at all. And after so many successes, then they can like him. Then the Prophet ﷺ says, could these people of Mecca, Quraysh, exile me? Then Waraka said yes. If I were alive, I'd give you support. Unfortunately, Waraka died after so many months of their discussion. Now, what happened to the Prophet ﷺ after that? Then, والسلام, he began to pray, saying that if I were to be exiled to anywhere, what am I going to do? Then he called people to believe in Islam, he did everything, and he said, he asked Allah to guide him, where would he be going? Then he decided that he would go to Medina. The Prophet didn't say, oh, Allah will take me from Mecca to Medina, dump me there, the same way he did at Isra. At Isra, the night journey, he took him from Mecca, dumped him in Beit Maqdis in Jerusalem. Without any effort, he rode on the Barak, and then he found himself in Syria, in North Palestine. Now, when the time of Hijrah came, the Prophet ﷺ asked Allah to give him permission to travel, and Allah gave him permission to travel. Then he began to go. He bought his camel, said, I'm going to travel, I'm not going to walk, I'm going to travel on my camel. He bought his own camel. Abu Bakr said to him, oh Muhammad, I will buy you the camel. I buy for myself, since I'm going to be with you, and I buy your own camel. The Prophet said, no, I will buy my own camel. He bought his own camel. Then he said, if we are going to go to Medina, we must hire somebody who's going to help us, take us the route to Medina. And the route we are going to take should not be the same route these people of Mecca used to take. Hence, he hired somebody, his name is Abdullah ibn Urayqid, to be a guy, non-Muslim. He hires him to take us to Medina. Don't take where people used to take. Then Abdullah agreed to take him there. Then he said, if you go out of Mecca immediately, if you go out and face Medina immediately, these people may catch us. Let us hide for some days. Then we read in history that he and Abu Bakr went to Jabal Hira, and then they hid themselves there for 3 days. Now, hiding yourself in the mountain is a serious thing. No ventilation, nothing, except Allah protected them. Then they need water, and they need milk, and they need food. The Prophet ﷺ arranged that the son of Abu Bakr and the daughter of Abu Bakr will bring them food, and they will go back and give them information of what's going on in Mecca. That was your prophet. He didn't give everything a chance. Allah will protect you. No, Allah will protect you, but you have to take steps. In Tansurullah, if you seek support from Almighty Allah and help yourself, then definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to help you. But if you do not help yourself, Allah lifts you up. Allah lifts you up. So the bottom line, he planned ahead every step that he wanted to take from Mecca to Medina. And he did it, and he was very, very successful. He was very, very successful. So that's what we have to learn from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As Muslims today, in anything we want to do, let us plan ahead. What will I be at the end of this year, 1445? What will happen to me in 2 years to come? What will happen to me in 5 years to come if I were to be alive? You put that thing down. If I were to be alive, then today I'm 40 years. In 5 years, I'll be 45 years. Whether I like it or not. So within these 5 years, what actually do I want to accomplish? And how do I accomplish them? And subhanAllah, some of you and some of us who are time-oriented, will likely achieve a lot. They plan ahead and they achieve a lot. Maybe they have 80% success, maybe they have 90% success. But the one who doesn't plan, time goes away. So therefore, instead of us spending our time without consciousness, then we have to spend our time consciously and find out ourselves, is what I'm doing actually helping me and helping my community? Will this thing help me in the future or not? When we see our brothers now, may Allah bless all of you. He finished up at 5 o'clock, he came home, he ate, and then he stand in front of this box, TV, and watching whatever, games, watching football, watching everything, 2-3 hours a day. The question is, who they ask, what are you going to tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The God will say, son, what are you going to say? Well, I'm watching football. How will that help you? And how will that help your community? I'm not saying you should not never watch something, but don't put all your eggs in football so that every time people are talking about football, Dallas, Cowboy, you're going to pass it. The question is, what did you get? Let's face reality. So Islam is a religion of consciousness. We should be aware that our time is our capital. The more we spend it wisely, the better we're going to get out of it. If we don't spend it wisely, definitely we are going to be blamed for not spending our time in the right way. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us and to be conscious of time, inshallah. Some of you who are planning ahead, may Allah bless you. If you are not among those people who plan ahead, please begin to do so. It's not hard at all. This week is what I'm going to do. This year is what I'm going to do. These 2 years is what I'm going to do. If you plan ahead, then definitely you're going to be successful. And subhanAllah, when we compare ourselves to our Christian or other group, you know that, as I know, Americans, they plan ahead. They plan ahead. I'm a teacher once again. What I'm going to do this year, 2023, is recorded. What I'm going to do 2024 in school is recorded. If in January 2024 I die and they bring any professor, they just give you, say, this is what you're going to teach before you begin to write your work. And everything is written down. What will happen to me 5 years at the school? You have planned for it. So let us plan ahead in our life and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us and to guide us to the right time, inshallah. Don't let us leave things for chance. When we leave things for chance, then success is far away from us. Success is far away from us. Once again, I'm not blaming you, I'm just emphasizing to you that the best way to spend our time is to struggle ahead and to plan ahead and to use our time wisely, because we are going to be asked about it in the day of judgment. May Allah guide every one of us. May Allah enable us to be a good Muslim. May Allah enable us to achieve a lot. May Allah enable us to give us good life, long life, and bless our time. And when Allah blesses your time, it will be just as much as possible. We have seen in our history, Prophet Muhammad among them, and other companions and other religious leaders. When you think of what they achieved and the time they had, you'll be surprised. Every now and then now we hear about Imam Shafi, we hear about Imam Malik, we hear about Al-Ghazali, and so many books they wrote in the olden days, no computer, nothing. Where did they get time? It's a lot of their time, really. al-Jawzi, they said he wrote many books. If you were to distribute it every day, maybe you are talking about 200, 300 pages a day. Took his life. Brothers, they don't have pen as we have today. They didn't have light as we have today. They didn't have paper as we have today. Yet, what they can accomplish in these few years of theirs is unbelievable. And what happens is that Allah bless their time. Allah bless their time. And I'll finish with one story of the Prophet for you to, in terms of blessing the time. You know, as I know, that Muhammad performed only one act. Muhammad performed only one act. Now, they rode on the camel. So the readiness that Muhammad he left Arafah when he came to Mina, Yom Nahar, the day of the slaughter. Then he reached Mina in the morning. Then he threw pebbles to Shaitan. Then he went to Mecca, riding camel. No, I don't know whether anyone have probably ride camel before. Camel is not a good thing to ride. You shake and you... Anyway, he rode to Mecca on the day of Nahar. Then he came back. He prayed Zuhur in Mecca, in Mina. And the question is, he said, before he went to Mecca to do Tawaf for the Father, he slaughtered with, Ali ibn Abi Talib slaughtered for him 100 camels. The question is, how much time did he have? Allah blessed the time for him, really. Not because he wanted to make back, he came back walking, not doing anything. Then he slaughtered 100 camels. Then he used to answer the question that people asked for him and everything, and then they pray Zuhur at the time of Zuhur. What a great blessing from Almighty Allah. And brothers, some of you are in the same place. When Allah blesses your time, you achieve a lot within a very short time. You accomplish a lot within a very short time. That's what you have to do, brothers and sisters, inshallah. And don't say, oh, I cannot do it. Well, you can do it. And just Allah, may Allah bless your time, may Allah bless my time, may Allah put a lot of barakah in our action, in our deeds. And when that happens, you'll be surprised what you are going to achieve within a very short time. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما كثيرا سبحان ربك